And of course, bait. 1-1 so far. As, I have not heard that voice line before, but
that's a first, yeah.
That's a cool one.
It's a cool one indeed. First time for me to hear it too. Ah, man, like, interesting. Monkey versus Ember, we'll see how it goes. I feel like someone is disconnected and it's Dandy.
Of course.
Yeah, like, Monkey can crush this if he has a decent start, if he has some support, if he isn't really rotated on like he was rotated on in the last game. Because he was crushed on that Ember, right? Like, he couldn't really do anything. This time around, Monkey versus Ember, Monkey on his own should do well. And then if you give him a rotation or two, he can roll out of control.
Yeah.
He could, at least.
Both sides. We saw last game around, like, they really made sure that the mid Ember did not have a game. We'll see if they can do it again. Like, alone, he did not have a game too. Fee kind of mentioned it on the panel. Like, if you just do the same thing, make it so this Monkey King just doesn't have a game number 3, the game could just be as good as over. So you really don't have a playmaker. Like, this MK is it. It's very greedy drafts from both ends, it feels like, but somehow Wildcard came out with an even greedier draft than what Bay picked up. Which is not something I can easily say considering they've got a Spectre Alchemist on their end of things, but well, here we are.
Yeah, Spectre Alchemist, we'll see. We'll see what Funny goes for, right? Like, is it gonna be some normal run-of-the-mill Alchemist with Aghanims on the offlane? Will it be some utility Greaves Alchemist? Will it be Aghanims Alchemist?
What about Meteor Hammer Alchemist?
Oh, Meme Hammer Alchemist, sure, why not?
Makes sense. That's what we've been seeing a lot of anyway. So you may as well bust out the Meme Hammer if that's what's going to take.
The Unstable Concussion into Meteor Hammer?
Yeah? It's a thing.
Sounds legit.
Yeah? Shirt. So what do you mean shirt, Sammy?
Let me see his camera. Let me see it. No.
Like, is he saying he's changing his shirt or something? Alone's camera's off. Let's fix that up, Alone.
He's changing the shirt.
Oh, right, okay. I mean, it may have been him literally changing. Why do you need to change a shirt before a game anyway?
Well, there are some players, you know, they change shirts every game, shorts every game, socks.
Right.
You know, Tinker spammers.
Oh. Be about right. Funnick, he'll be able to pick up the bounty. It looks like Alone was not able to intervene there. So it's going to be a 2 for 2 anyway. Not too big of a deal for either side. Start with the mid lane, of course, as per usual. You're going to have Alone on that mid Monkey King against the mid Ember of Dendy. Yep. So, theoretically, the Monkey King should have a pretty damn good time.
Theoretically, yes.
What's going to change that, Lizard?
Well, we'll see. The first block is pretty decent from Dendy. He's keeping the lane equilibrium on his side. And a couple of rotations can change that, right? Like, Monkey, he's the sort of a hero that can dominate the lane, but then if you make a rotation or two on him, like, you can take all of that back. So Alone has to be super conscious of the fact that he's easily killable with rotations.
Well, we'll see, because you do have supports that can rotate quite well, right? Like Stockman on the Mirana. You've got a +5 Rubik as well from Lodine. So plenty of ways of rotating here and making this monkey's life a living hell. But I guess I could say the exact same thing about the other end of things. Like, you do have a Tusk on MSS. Could make those rotations early on if he so wishes. You might want to kind of do that anyway, because Dendy had way too good of a game too. And Dendy might be feeling very, very happy right now, just based off the voice lines he's spamming.
Yeah, because Monkey missed a lot of last hits under the tower already. And he sees that, so he's just trolling him a little bit, you know, rubbing in.
That's fair. So Alone is top of the CS board at the moment. At least UR does take over. Speaking of UR, he is down at the bot lane along with Sammy Boy, because you can have Stominan and Funnick against those two. So the offlane Alkin, the +4 Mirana. I am very curious to see exactly what kind of build-up Funnick does go for on this offlane Alchemist, because we are into a new patch.
Well, he's gonna go and try and kill this AA first.
And they might get him. Arrow's gonna land. Sammy, he had a pretty rough game as the Lich. He might have an even rougher game as the AA if he's not careful. Though he does barely get away with his life intact. He's forced to eat up a furry fire to survive through that. But it is a double stun lane, so you get hit by that initial unstable concoction. It's not too hard to follow up with the arrow.
Yeah, for sure. Top lane, loading actually gets forced to TP out.
All the way back to the fountain.
All the way back. Does have boots, right? Does he? He doesn't. Okay, so that's gonna be a slow-ass walk back to the lane.
Yeah. Walk of shame. I mean, Stonebank probably gonna struggle to find any kind of CS here while his Rubik is gone. Mind you, it does seem like Stonebank has been having a bit of a rough time in that top laning phase at the moment. Like, just to be kind of expected, considering you are going up against a Nature's Prophet and a Tusk, so plenty of denies to happen here from Lil Nick.
Yeah, at least it's very difficult for them to kill him, right? Like on the top lane.
Yeah.
Perhaps you won't be having the best CS game, but if you have Spectral Dagger off cooldown, there is no way they kill you.
That is certainly a positive.
Mid lane, 18 CS versus 11.
I mean, that is to be expected, I suppose. It is the Monkey King. It should have been actually worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse, definitely. So, it's even good that Dandy is holding on to this lane at least.
Yeah. Sammy, being chased down. Funnick gonna get the unstable concoction off. Stominant has the arrow, and Sammy's gonna drop. Stominant to pick up first blood on the Mirana. I hope for Sammy's sake he's not having a repeat of that game number 2, because he was... I mean, it was... I don't know what his kill score was, but it was bad.
Yeah, it's just a lane in which he shouldn't even be leaving his carry at all. Like, he just needs to... They need to cover each other, which is bad because you have to go back. You have to stop them from creep skipping. So the moment you do that, they catch you.
Stonebank trying to run. Tag team slowing him down quite a bit, and it's a lot of damage being dealt, but not quite enough to kill him off. He's going to be okay to back off. But again, they are making sure that Stonebank does not have a good time in this top lane. Really no farm to speak of here for Stonebank at the moment. Just 14 CS. Lil Nick, on the other hand, well, he's having another one of those lanes where he's just being left alone here on the Prophet. It's kind of the dream for him. I suppose the big difference is in the Prophet, you can just carry the game yourself if it comes to it as well.
Depends on the item build always, right?
Right.
Like what you want to build for your team, or do you want to go utility, do you want to go right click? There's just so many different ways that you can build him. Some extra catch would be nice for them versus the Ember, I feel like. On your team, you only have Tusk, and that's pretty much not good enough versus the Ember. But I've seen some mid lane monkeys go for Gleipnir too.
Bot lane, funny.
Yeah, he should be fine.
Yeah, a bit of a chase. He'll just pull the creep wave away. Like, they're going to stack it up here on the Wolves. Swell up a little bit more efficiently with the acid spray. Why the hell not? Sammy's going to be there to try and intervene, but...
Or die.
Yeah, he might just die. Cold Feet, not going to work out. Stopping it. Starfall is there. Sammy, well, he's going to farm while he's at it. Like, he already knows he's going to die. But it gives him the Keck wave right there. And
yeah, I feel like every time he tries to mess with them, every time he tries to delay the farm, he just gives them some extra gold.
yeah. Well, I mean, you are playing AA at level 2. Like, there's not really much you could do here. In terms of messing around with them. I think for Sammy, it's just all about hitting level 6 this game and making sure this Alchemist can't do whatever the hell he wants.
That's a big point. Like, AA into the Alchemist always feels good, but it's an offlane Alchemist, so... Like, who cares?
Not quite as good.
Yeah, not quite as important.
Well, the tier 1 mid tower going to be harassed a little bit here by Alone. Even Lil Nick rotating very early on. When they do have the siege creep, and it seems like they really want to try and keep this alive as long as possible. Dendi trying his best to stop this from happening, but this tier 1 mid tower, it is going to drop very, very quickly here from Wildcard. And this mid tower, it's just so important, right? Because you do have a very greedy draft here from the side of Bait. You really don't want to open up the map like this to Wildcard, but well, they have no choice in the matter. Very nice rotation from Lil Nick, and That's already the tier 1 mid gone.
Yeah, for me, it kind of goes even deeper than that. Alchemist TPs from bot.
Does he? Oh, he does.
He does. Like, you moved in towards the monkey, so he wasn't ganked. At least not for now. Mirana is aiming that arrow. But yeah, all I want to see them is to play around alone. Like,
No Nick. Chase down here from Stominen. 3 heroes around the man. Lift up is there. Arrow will land. And eventually
Nice
they
try.
will secure the kill.
Yeah, nice try with the Sprout. He was thinking maybe he'll be able to get away, but there is no way. Spectre. With a Spectral Dagger, it's just way too difficult. Once he respawns... Oh, monkey mid. Yeah, that's
Trouble.
it.
Yeah,
Let's
there
have
you go
sticks.
again. Alone? Stick charges are there.
He actually lives because of Mischief. He dodged the damage from the arrow.
Wow.
So extremely well played by him.
They talked about how important it was for Alone to not have a bad game this time around. And well, so far he's having a pretty damn good time. Second net worth at the moment is the Monkey King.
And look at Wildcard. They're just rolling over these towers. Mid lane tower, bottom lane tower. Soon, I believe they will go top. There's nothing stopping them. Yeah, Lifestealer TPs first, and the cavalry should follow.
That's the thing. Where are you going to farm? Like, with all these tier 1 towers going down, it's going to be pretty rough to try and get the Spectre any kind of farm. Like, the Alk's just, I don't know, it feels like you just got to shaft him all together at this point.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what the point is of the Alchemist at this part of the game. Right, like you have an offlane Alch that's going, what, phases, Soul Ring, Medallion. I mean, it isn't anything strange. I've seen the build before. It's just that it's questionable how much he'll be able to do.
Yeah, quite limited in the amount of impact he's going to have here, Funnick. At least for now. Smoke rotation is up towards the top lane. You are. I mean, you could try for the Lifestealer. Problem is he has Rage. They'll bring
And,
Dendi up as well.
And the Helm now as well.
There is a lot of heroes, though. You are going to chase down Lodine. Going to see Stominen in the tree line. Now realizes Dendi's around the corner. Chains is going to be purged off by the Rage. Can he get out?
Oh,
Alone does show up. That's a great boundless strike from the Monkey King. And the Infest play is there as well. They've lost Lodine. They might lose Stominen. He'll try for the TP up, but there's no chance in hell.
An attempt was made.
It was. And failed. Sadly,
And
to the
fails,
side
yeah.
of bait.
And another tower will fall, which opens up the Dire side completely. You're playing now into the Nature's Prophet, into a Monkey King. You lost every single tier 1 tower. These heroes will just be jumping around your map, getting one pick off after another. Plus there's a only level 4 though.
Just massive, massive movements already from Wildcard. Haunt out? I guess maybe just acquiring a bit of vision here?
Yeah, perhaps it's a misclick.
Could be.
You know, sometimes you just try to press your item and you press R instead. Happens.
It does, it does. I mean, at the very least, they got the vision of it over the side of Wildcard, so they know where they are at the moment. They know they're not in any kind of danger.
When do you misclick your ulti the most? For me, it's when I try to write something with an R, you know?
Yeah. I'm not really one to misclick ulti too much. I usually just misclick something like a BKB, which is like 10 times worse, I feel like. You know?
It's kind of similar, I suppose.
Yeah,
Definitely feels a bit worse.
it does. What do you do now as Wildcard? Like, you've opened up the map quite a lot. There's 3 tier 1 towers gone. They've decided they just want to farm. As Lodine, he was infested. I was wondering what was going on there. He does end up going down. But like, do you want to move into the dire side of the map, or like, because they are playing quite slowly, considering how much they've taken already here, Wildcard.
Yeah, like you can't keep the pressure forever in that way. Like sometimes you need to slow things down a little bit. I don't disagree with the way they're playing right now. Like you took the advantage, but you don't really have it in items at the moment, right?
Bottom. Alone. I mean, there was a bit of a chase going on for the Monkey King, but he's going to be all right.
So maybe just finish off the Aghanims on Nature's Prophet, farm a little bit, actually capitalize on all the objectives that you've taken, then fight again.
Once you got the Ags up, such a nice power spike for little Nick. That root is so obnoxious. The amount of damage it deals as well.
What we will have, we will have the root from him, and then we will have Diffusal from Monkey. More than enough for them to capably take the next couple of fights.
Yeah. It's like all you've got right now for Stonemak is a Blade Mail to try and utilize here. Obviously that's for his farming ability, but we'll go for the Aghanim Scepter next. I just question what's gonna be following up with this Ags on the Spectre. Like, you can haunt in all you want. It's just who's gonna follow up? Like, this Alchemist's got just a solar crest right now.
It's interesting that he's buying the Ags actually. Like when he has an Alchemist on his team.
Right.
An offlane Alchemist. Who could have purchased that for him?
Stonebank gonna be chased down. Does chop down the right tree, so that should allow him to get away. Shards, they're almost on the mark, but not quite. Meanwhile, Sammy going to be chased down here on the AA. Dendy right behind, trying to get within range for the slide of his chains, but the arrow does land. Dominant will get the job done. Does secure the kill, but in comes a snowball now from MSS. Does have UR infested inside of him right now as they do go back onto the Mirana. No leap charges available here for Stominant. He'll have to try and just TP out the old-fashioned way, but it's not going to be enough. UR picks up the kill very easily for himself.
Interesting build from him as well. Armlet into Radiance. On the life
It is all the fashion, right?
Yeah. All he needs now is a meme hammer and that's it.
That's it?
He's full meta boy.
It makes enough sense. Like, I feel like there was a time where Radiance was being built up on Lifestealer.
There was for sure, but not in every game.
Alone. Currently very alone, but does pop the Wukong's command. Forces them back. Low9 trying to just play around with this Monkey King, but he'll get ganked up here on the Rubik. Does drop once again. Meanwhile, mid lane, Dendy's currently being chased by Yawar. He's okay to back himself out of there. For now, Bait just desperately trying to find any kind of farm they can.
Hey, ult top.
Stonemak, he's going to cop it. Do they have the follow-up damage? It looks like they will, and they do. Arrow does connect, but it doesn't do enough. Is MSS going to turn around, back it onto the Mirana. That's going to be a second. Dendy shows up now. Can they at least pick off the Monkey? It seems like they can, but in comes the cavalry. Yuar's going to show up. They won't chase down Funnick. In fact, more TP's coming from Bait. Funnick, try for a stunt, but Rage is available. Yuar's just fine.
Just gotta be careful after the Rage. They're still around, the two of them.
It's very dire straits right now for Bait. Like, they're still behind in net worth, even with this Alchemist offlane.
Yeah, that's never a good thing, right? Like, minute 15, you have an Alchemist and you're the team that's behind. But, truth be told, he didn't really level up Greevil's Greed early on, right? Like, he had one level of it and that's it. His farm is about to ramp up only now, after all that time. And he's going full utility, by the way. No Aghanims, no shenanigans with the Radiance. Just a Solar Crest into Crimson Guard.
Just makes you question what the point of the Arc pick was in the first place.
Crickets.
Crickets? Yeah. It's about right.
I mean, they picked it quite early on, and then they relegated it, right? So maybe that's the point. They felt it was no longer a great Alchemist game, so they just put him on that offlane position.
That's probably the best guess we've had so far. Funnick, chase down on the Arc. Balance not going to be there yet, but MSS does cut him off anyway. Walrus Punch lands. Funnick still trying his best to run out of there, but oh, the AA Blast, it doesn't really land. They don't get the Ice Blast to connect on Funnick, but it shouldn't matter in the end. A eventually they'll have their way with him.
Yeah, it just took them so long instead of just getting him real fast.
Stominant trying to run, does leap away. Dendi is there to help out if necessary, and MSS seeing Dendi around doesn't really want to borrow this Ember at the moment. Does decide to back off. Meanwhile, Lodine looks like he's going to get caught, though he does have the rage at the very least, so he is going to be able to avoid the boundless strike coming in from Alone.
Yeah, all this time I'm just checking out Spectre, seeing his item progression, 500 gold away from the Aghanims that he is purchasing on his own.
Alone.
Monkey.
A lot of damage being dealt on the Monkey. Wukong's command could be thrown out, but not quite. MSS just making sure Dendi just gets held
Roted.
down.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And now you are, with the chase into Lodine, gonna find a secondary kill here for his side. And it keeps getting from bad to worse as they TP in for more. Lil Nick gonna find Stominant. He does have one more leap charge. Ice Blast gonna connect, and that's his life gone.
They're just playing too slowly. And it's understandable. Like, your cores are Spectre, Alchemist, and Ember.
Yeah.
Like, which one of these actually plays? Like, Phonic is just, I don't know, in his own world, farming up, getting all the utility. Meanwhile, his teammates are brawling and bruising everywhere.
And now Phonic's dead.
Yeah, but they do have the Aghanims now on Spectre. So from this point onwards, you can always shadow step into these fights. You have Blade Mail Ags. Like, you really want to be fighting as Spectre at this point.
My question still stands. Like, who's going to back him up? That's the thing. Who's setting up these fights for him to shadow step in? Like, it feels like it has to be Dendi. Dendi's been kind of pretty quiet himself here on the Ember.
Yeah, it has to be Dendi, or you buy that blink on the Alchemist, right? And then he can be the one initiating.
Well, it seems like Wildcard, at least for now, they're going to sit back and relax a little bit. Get back to the farm game themselves. It's like Lil Nick wants to build up into a Gleipnir before they get active again. Of course, UR did pick up that Radiance, and this makes him even more of a menace to try and deal with throughout this game.
He's got the Radiance, he's got the Shard. He's damn ready to fight.
Absolutely.
Straight into the pit, it seems like, even. Okay, why not? It's not like Bait can actually fight them. They can try. But it shouldn't be very successful for them if they do.
Yeah, Roshan going to go down very, very fast.
It's like you're only 1k ahead, but you get so much more out of the items that you've got, right? Like from Lil Nick's Aghanims, from Yavar's Radiance, Monkey King with the Diffusal.
It's gone. Just immediately take it down. Moonlight Shadow is there from Bait. Maybe they keep trying to fight. There is going to be a chain down onto the Prophet, but Lil Nick, who have the infest there from UR. Arrow even taken by the Lifestealer.
He ate it.
He just ate the arrow for his team, and he's still surviving. Aegis does finally go down. Lil Nick also dropping on the Prophet. Maybe this is the team fight Bait needed, as they found a third.
It definitely was.
Big team fight here for Bait. They're going to find Sammy as well. Oh boy, Wildcard, what have you done?
That's 4 heroes, right? 3 and an Aegis. They were so cocky.
Way too cocky.
Yeah, Prophet and the Lifestealer just moved uphill for no whatsoever reason. Because he had an Aegis, right? So he's feeling, yeah, sure, I can just move up there. Then he has to waste the Aegis, the Rage, just to save the Prophet, the Infest as well. I still think that they're stronger at the moment. They just need to take their fights properly.
Well, top lane, they're going to have a look at Phonic again on this Alk. Wukong's going to be out eventually. Ice Blast is again off the mark. It's kind of rough. Like, you can't hope to kill this guy without the Ice Blast connecting.
Yeah, I don't think you can without it, right?
Not with just these two. Immediately, Bait do rotate 3 more heroes up there to make sure this Alchemist is fine. Had the Ice Blast landed, they probably would have had the damage to just burst him down, but...
Yeah, it's the ultimate tanky boy destroyer, right? The Ice Blast, especially versus an Alchemist that really relies on that regen that he gets from the ulti. maybe if Monkey waited a bit longer instead of initiating first.
Well, now MSS, he's invested up here with UR. They don't really see too much on the map right now, though, Wildcard.
Not a lot. There's no blink as well on the Tusk, so initiation isn't that easy. Like, you can go on Ember, but yeah, this happens, you know.
It's going to be pretty easy to dodge that one out.
Yeah. That's a problem that I was hoping they would itemize for. Initiation, like proper initiating and disabling, is not something that they can do. Maybe a Gleipnir on someone. I know that the Prophet has Maelstrom, but I'm not sure if he's building into Gleipnir or not.
Oh my, Sammy. Just going to get bursted down by Stonebank. Not even close. Completely destroyed by this Spectre. And Bait. I mean, it just feels like they're slowly making a comeback into this game. Like, Stonebank's getting to a point where he's going to start feeling very, very scary as a Spectre. Like, sure, you've still got your Warren alone farming pretty decently, but, well, I say alone, he's fallen quite behind on the Monkey King now.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a build that, farms that fast. Like Diffusal, BKB, this is literally fight, fight, fight. So if he falls behind, it will be much more difficult for him to catch back up.
Still a bit of a rough affair. Like, Wildcard off to such a great start, but then just one bad team fight around the Roshan pit, they just completely slow it all down. Stonebank's almost at the point where he has the Mantap as well, so that root coming in from the Wrath of Nature, not going to really be too much of a big deal here for the Spectre at all.
They did smoke, though.
I mean, they have. Question is, what can they find with this smoke?
Maybe the Alchemist or the Mirana?
Well, Stormman breaks the smoke and just leaps away. Alone, still trying. Yuar will pop out. The balance does eventually land, but they do have a Crimson Guard to help Stormman. And with the 4-staff away, he's actually going to survive.
Yeah, that felt just so forced.
Very desperate plays here from Wildcard.
Yeah. Very, very forced. At the same time, the Ags from Prophet saved all of them. And they are getting a BKB. Yeah, they have one on the Monkey. They almost have one on the Prophet. The BKBs in this game are also like completely life-changing.
2k advantage now for Bait. Skadi is going to be the build-up here for Stonebank, and once that Skadi's up, that's when things start to feel really, really frightening if you are Wildcard. Wildcard trying to push down the top tier 2 tower, but a bit of a slower process. Glyph was forced out.
Tier 2 gone. Uncontested even.
Yeah, surprisingly, it felt like Bait may be in a position where they can actually fight back now.
Yeah, maybe they were just afraid of, running uphill. That whole area was cleared and controlled by Radiant for a while now.
AC now available on Funnick. Even more defensibility coming in from this Alchemist.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's become quite a tanky boy.
Is under attack.
AC not going to be very fun to play into, and Bait, they do pop the Moonlight Shadow. Wildcard on the other side of that mid lane. They don't know if they really want to try and fight Bait at the moment. Perhaps underneath their own vision they will. Stomina makes the jump in. He was trying to get the D-ward off, but he will drop immediately. Lowdive also being chased down here on the Rubik, though there is going to be a buyback from Stomina. They do move in alone. He is going to drop immediately on the Monkey, and Sammy's gone to boot. MSS, he is going to be no different either. A third kill for the side of Bait. Wildcard, they are falling apart here in this game 3.
There was a BKB on Monkey. It was just unused.
Wow.
Yeah, Spectre dishing out a ton of damage with the Haunt.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The plays that they're making are the plays of a team that feels pressured, right? Like diving the tier 2, just to kill off a Rubik, not managing to get on top of him, losing your position 2 because of that. And you know that you're playing into a Spectre, right? So they will all be ready and fighting.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, lines are being drawn out here by Wildcard. It seems like they want to rush back towards that Dire jungle.
That looked straight towards the throne, you mean.
Yeah.
End it, boys. Let's go.
I mean, it was Sammy drawing the line. Sammy probably not too happy with the way this game's gone.
Very talented.
Yeah, indeed.
A very, very talented man.
$13 to 13, 5k advantage here between these two. Bait holding on to set advantage. Chains out, you are. Gonna get caught. Meanwhile,
Shadow
Sammy
step, yeah.
also being caught as well in the AA. MSS gonna try and move in onto Lodine. They have already picked up Sammy, but Lodine, he's gonna lift himself up onto the high ground. He's alright. A nice Wukong's command, but is it gonna make the difference? Yuwa is trying to fight back the best he possibly can, but the chase is on. Alone's gonna run. He is all alone right now, and he's just gonna drop. At the very least, the Infest does allow him to get out thanks to infesting Little Nick, but they just can't fight at the moment.
They couldn't kill anyone in that whole fight. Absolutely no one, and there's a...
Little Nick? Oh, a double stun, Yuan. No, he got the rage off. He's forced to TP out. He's going to be okay to do so, but man, oh man, you're starting to see the same problem as game 2. It's like, what are they going to do to fight back now?
Yeah, the Shadow Step, the Aghanims. These two supports on the side of Wildcard are just easy pickings for the Spectre every time. Well, AA more so than the Tusk, but still.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Is there a... There's a Dazo being built by Monkey, but he's far away from that. Like, the utility that Alchemist is bringing is proving to be really crucial in these fights.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
I mean, we all had our doubts, but Vanik is making it look very good.
Dire's middle tower is
Just a very annoying hero just standing around, buffing up his teammates, and you know, doesn't really need to do too much more. Just stand around and make sure everyone's happy.
Full utility, full support.
Yeah, why the hell not?
4 and 5 combined into 3.
You are. Gonna be alright. Double damage rune though spawns up top lane. Or top rune spot rather. So Dendy's gonna take that on the Ember.
They've had no luck on Wildcard when it comes to these runes, right? So far, at least.
Hasn't felt like it. Infest is there on a loan.
Maybe they can go for the Ember, but all you have is the root, right? Unless MSS has a blink, which he doesn't. Like, it's so hard for them to initiate properly. I think that's probably the biggest issue that they have in this game. They're unable to start things off properly.
Well, they are looking at the Spectre bot lane. Root is there, Wukong's command, but he just gets out of there.
Yeah, that's it.
Shadow step, I'm out, boys.
I mean, if it's a different draft in which you have a stun, that's a kill.
Oh boy. And here we go. MSS is gone. Yuwa, he's forced the man fight. He can't get out of this. He'll try for a TP play with the rage, and it seems like he's going to be okay. But there's just no openings being granted whatsoever by Bait. Very clean gameplay for this game 2 and 3. They're just still just building up. Like, the Spectre's out of control now. Skardy's available.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Are you a believer in Bait now? Because you had some really nice words about Wildcard, by the way.
I did.
Yeah.
And they're letting me down. They're letting me
Are
down.
they letting you down, or is Bait overperforming?
I mean, to be fair, I have been saying for a long time, these guys on Bait are pretty good. Roshan is going to drop Aegis shards their way.
Yeah. I mean, Bait, they have these upcoming stars, Funnick and Dandy.
I don't know, I'm sure they've got bright futures ahead of them, for sure. jump in. Sammy.
If only they had some more experience, you know.
A little bit more, yeah. Maybe a couple more years. Sammy. He's going to drop. Yuwa going to go for the fight. Nice boundless going to land onto Dendi. Maybe they can at least find the Ember, and they do. And Yuwa, he'll pop the Infest immediately onto MSS. But look at Stonebank. He's the real problem. He'll just keep going forward. He just doesn't care. Though he does back off for a little bit. Mind you, he does have the Aegis up, but he doesn't want to get trapped alone. The chase is ongoing. Alone, right behind him. We'll go for the defusal blade out. Somehow, Stonebank is literally completely alone.
Yeah, his teammates...
They just left him.
They went one way, he went the other.
He's got Shadow Step up, but that's about it. Pops the Blade Mail. Everyone else is kind of killing themselves right now. MSS is gone. Alone almost going down. Vanik finally shows up.
The man almost won that fight. 1 versus 4, 5, whatever.
Quite literally. Bait now forced to back off as they've lost their Spectre.
Imagine if he just had one teammate there, anyone.
Literally anyone.
Literally any hero.
What a shame. Lodine gonna drop as well. Nilnik able to pick him off. Stominan, not safe, just burning to the Radiance, but is gonna run the right way.
Dire's top tower.
Barely survives on the Mirana.
Almost got killed off by the Radiance itself.
That's the thing though, like, just the fact that they split up, like, it's just a small mistake like that. It could turn everything around, like...
So are we back on the wildcard?
No, not really. It's just, like, seeing a Spectre 1v5 them and almost win, it's like, holy crap. If you literally had just one support there.
Vanik with the blink almost. Well, he can purchase it if he wants to, right? So
He's gonna go side device instead, it seems.
well, do they need more catch? Kinda, I guess. Definitely will come in handy versus the Monkey King, versus the Lifestealer as well.
Control never hurts.
Yeah, a bit more control at least.
Smoke is there from Bait. Not going to amount to much though, it seems. Bait having a look around, but not able to find anything with this smoke attempt, it seems.
Yeah, just the 2 of them smoked up. I mean, 2 of them smoked up, but then you have Shadow Step, right? Like you can always connect with the Spectre.
Speaking of, Sammy
Yeah.
did get spotted by Snowback, immediately bursted down.
Or you don't have to connect. You just have to see a hero on the map, you Shadow Step, you kill him off.
Yeah. Nice and easy. Moonlight Shadow gonna be popped. Bait. Maybe looking towards that tier 2 bottom, tier 2 mid tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structure.
Should be able to get away with this basically for free. Not really much in the way of stopping them. Wildcard. At some point they've got to try and fight Bait, but pretty rough with the way things are at the moment.
You think?
Yeah.
If they approach the fight properly, perhaps they can. They're kind of strong. Like you have Silver Edge on Prophet, Monkey King with the Dazzle, there's a Basher on Lifestealer. I'm pretty sure they could win a fight, if they approach it properly.
Thing is, there's a Basher now on Stoneback as well. So now suddenly that rage TP away, like it may not be quite as successful as it once was. They have got some way of getting through that. And in terms of getting away from Stoneback, it's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah, they're smoking up. They don't want to get away from Stonebank. They actually want to go towards him.
Wildcard. They'll move in. Alone. He'll be in the front line tier. Along with the infested UR, trying to find himself a target, but nobody going to get spotted out here from Bait, at least for now. Maybe they spot out Stominan. Oh, TP in from Funnick, that might be a great target, but he got the BKB off in time. Still Bashes are there, but Stonebank is there to join with the team if he needs be. Wildcard, how long can you keep this fight going? Funnick is fine for now.
Tusk dead.
MSS is gone. Ice Blast gonna land onto Yua. He is gone to boot. Alone, not gonna make it out either.
Damn, and it was them waiting around the outpost even. It was them waiting for the Alchemist to TP in. They still couldn't just eliminate him before he BKBs.
Just so tough, like.
For an old man, Funnick has quick reflexes.
He certainly does. He's still got
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
bait. And again, just it feels like as long as they're grouped up, you just can't beat these guys. Not with this kind of draft. Now the Ag's up on Dendi as well, so even more mobility available for the Ember.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
We are going to have a quick pause from Alone, but it looks like it was a bit of a misclick.
Radiant's
I love that one.
Yeah, I might need to buy that one,
It's
actually.
my new favorite.
Radiant's structures are fortified.
The tier 3 top tower.
Is under attack.
Going to be in danger.
Dire's bottom
Not going to last too long here. It's bait.
Radiant's top tower.
Well, they'll leave with a tier 3. They're not going to overextend. At the very least, Stonebank is going to go for a bit of a reset before he gets involved any longer. Because you are going to have to address the split push that is happening here from this Prophet.
Yeah, you could be waiting for Aegis as well, but Rosh is kind of far away. Any big items? Gleipnir on the Ember, perhaps, that you can wait for?
Well, I suppose so.
Spectre with the Abyssal coming soon.
Just trying to think of what like wildcard can build up here to make a big difference. I mean, the Abyssal Blade just completed on Stonebank.
Nothing really that massive on Wildcard. I feel like they're not in the worst spot when it comes... Okay, mid lane. They are 20k behind, so it's not great, right? Then again, I feel like they've kind of reached the items that are necessary to take anyone down. And that's only because you have an AA. Like, if Ice Blast connects, you can literally take anyone down. You can kill any of these heroes. If it doesn't, however, you're kind of done in that fight.
Oh, wildcard gripping up down to the bot lane now. Maybe they can find Dendi on the Ember. Dendi? I'm going to actually just remnant back towards the right side. Casual Ice Blast being thrown out here by Sammy, just checking the tree line.
Scouting Ice Blast.
Scouting indeed.
Scouting
MSS?
can't.
Stonebank? Stonebank's gone in by himself, but Dendi is there to be fair, and it looks like it's going to be enough anyway. Alone. Being chased down, almost down. However, Stonebank's taking way too much damage, is going to drop on the Spectre. See, this seems like a very unnecessary kind of fight to go for. Still, Funnick is going to show up now. Looks like Lil Nick. Going to be okay to just Shadow Blade away. They'll get Stominant as well. Like, that's kind of massive. Like, you let your Spectre die like that. But he kind of just jumped in on his own.
Yep.
Why?
Well, the fight looked kind of decent, to be honest, even for me. I thought that he'd be able to get away with all of that, but he didn't expect the amount of damage that Prophet was dealing with the Mjolnir and the Silver Edge. Like, Lil Nick, he could be the hidden carry of the game for Wildcard. Like, on one side you have this full utility Alchemist who's definitely doing his job and is okay, but Prophet is literally another carry for them. He didn't go for any nonsense utility. Nah, this man wants to hit heroes.
Yeah, I mean, Lil Nick, it is about that time where he just starts to transition to a carry. Suddenly bait. I mean, they're still 18k ahead, but it could be one of those games where Wildcard make a huge comeback. 41.5 minutes in, no racks is being taken. Only one tier 3 tower down. Just a small error like that might just change the mindset of bait, but they do smoke up as 3 once again. Heading into their own jungle, it seems. They'll hang around the Roshan pit, which is up in about 50 seconds from now.
Yeah, they know that it can be up, so they really want to set up some at least decent vision or decent position to fight him.
Well, Chains does catch alone. They're going to make the jump in. Through the trees, they're going to take him down. That's your Monkey King gone. Can they find any more? It's like Stominant has at least spotted out Yawar and the rest of the crew, so Dendy's going to make the jump in. Lifestealer is going to be able to pop the Trickster's cloak and be able to get away, at least for now. Meanwhile, Sammy, however, being controlled up, should go down. MSS in the very same position. We'll just go down to Dendy.
Yeah, they're losing the 2 supports, but at least the Lifestealer survives. However, 5 seconds till Rosh is up. If Rubik just sits inside and he sees it. Oh, there we go. They're lucky enough. Stoneback goes instantly, and he even timed the Spectral Dagger properly.
Well, here we go. Roshan, third one of the game. It's going to have a refresher shard available here for the side of Bait.
Give that to Spectre. Double the Haunt.
Oh, sounds beautiful to me. Suppose you could also give it to Dendy for the 10 remnants if you really wanted to, but he won't bother. Instead, Lil Nick, top lane, gonna get, or rather bot lane, gonna get caught out. Stonebank has the Abyssal, gonna cancel the TP, and that's gonna be Lil Nick dead.
Nice little snatch from Stomanin, like with that arrow. But yeah, I think you keep the refresher shard on Spectre. There's this neat play in which you go in first with a haunt, you get a kill or 2, you die, you buy back, then you haunt back in.
Right.
Like that kind of a play is game ending with Spectre. But you just need to get there with a farm as well. You need to get a couple of, at least the butterfly. Two hexes, one on Alchemist, one on the Ember. They've been around for a bit now already. But yeah, they're definitely playing a part in the assassinations of this Monkey King.
Yeah, Alone's had such a rough game on this MK. Not really having a game at all. Still trying his absolute best to get some nice Wukong's commands. It's some big battle of strikes, but it's been pretty damn tough, that's for sure. Snowbank, now with a butterfly up, going to move into that bottom tier 2 tower. And we'll be able to find it, no problem. No real contest here, as it's all about the high ground defense, I suppose, for Wildcard. And there's a huge advantage here for Bait, but they aren't moving onto the high ground whatsoever yet.
Yeah, they're pressuring that in yet another game. The high ground defense isn't that easy for Wildcard. Like, you can stay on high ground, but it doesn't matter. The Spectre is still going to jump you like this.
Yeah, Wand is out, or rather Shadow Step.
Just a warning.
Bit of a warning here from the Spectre. The Wildcard just, again, stuck in their base, just nothing they can do about it. They'll just sit there and wait their time out. They do move out through the bot lane just a little bit. Is that a horn I'm seeing? It certainly is. Doesn't really amount to too much, though.
We'll take that.
Well, remember he has the Shadow Step as well to work with, so. And the Refresher Shard, so. Even though Haunt only killed AA, it's not the end of the world for them. They can still fight.
Here we go again. Moonlight Shadow popped through the top lane. They want to try and start applying pressure onto this top Rax. Low9, he's in with the lift up. They've got Lil Nick on that Prophet. So important for the side of Wildcard to keep him alive. He'll be able to get out. No, he won't. They'll get the Abyssal Blade, but the Infest is there. Well. They'll shard him up, but they won't go after him. Lil Nick, able to TP away, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, it's still very sad that you have to be doing that, right? Like, you're resorting to these like runs into the fountain.
Chains out. They catch the AA with that arrow, and they will find him. Sammy is going to drop, but immediate buyback is there. Funnick in the meantime on the Alchemist, getting pretty deleted here. Alone able to secure the kill onto the Elk. Everyone else from Bait just backing the hell out of there after they see that. But they did secure the top lane of barracks.
Yeah, one lane of barracks.
Indy
Buyback as well.
does get his way out. There's your
Buyback.
Haunted again. So the Spectre wants to try and move in. Gets the damage out. MSS and Samson both gone.
Okay, it feels like they want to end. Alchemist is buying back.
Yeah, Alone, he's in massive trouble. Trying to run through the BKB, was getting bashed up. Meanwhile, Yawar is completely controlling the life stealer. No buyback available. Alone, at least he gets out. Lil Nick trying to fight right in front of his fountain.
And there's no buyback on Lifestealer for 90. They can go for all the Raxes, or maybe throne them. We'll see.
Snowman's going to buy back. Maybe it is about time to throw. No, they'll play it safe. They'll go for the Megas instead.
Definitely the more disciplined approach. But how long is that Aegis?
18 seconds.
So it's expiring. Yeah. Gotta be careful, because you're playing into an AA. If you're Stonebank right now, you might get ultied.
No bait. They're not going to go Megas. Does expire the Aegis, so they are going to just back their way out. There's a nice double damage rune just sitting there waiting for Stonebank at the moment, so he'll go ahead and secure that.
Someone is about to get blown up.
Absolutely. Does have enough for the Moonshard as well if he wants to go ahead and buy it. Probably best he saves his buyback gold, to be fair, but
You think?
I
At this
think
point,
so.
yeah.
Probably important.
Feel like he's hitting hard enough, but I also think he will get the Moonshine.
Oh, Savvy gets hit by an arrow. There's the blob you talked about. They do find one. They've even got the Wrath of Nature now up on low died. So you can really turn this around, though. That is a lot of damage being dealt to the Spectre. Stonebank, he does back his way out. And they go again. War as much as their MSS try to go onto Dendy. But MSS, he might just melt to the damage of the Alchemist. So he has to snowball back towards them. Meanwhile, Dendy still being chased down. Is Leash started the sprout, but does BKB and get himself out of there.
Haunt?
As Horde is out.
He's so low, though.
They're onto Alone. He just doesn't seem to care, though. He doesn't believe they can deal with him at the moment. And that'll be bait. Securing Megas now against Wildcard. They'll go for more. Onto the Prophet, Lil Nick. He'll get back towards the fountain. The Mega Creeps are incoming. There's bait. Still trying to force them to call a GG. Savvy surely drops here and does once again. Onto another. They've got Lil Nick controlled up. He will barely survive. But I can't say the same for Yawar. Yawar is gone.
GG.
Do they just die in the fountain? They've called GG anyway. And look at that. Bait.
They did it.
They did it. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I was doubting that would happen. I thought Wildcard would have an easy 2-0 victory here against Bait, but
Yeah, I know. You said it yourself.